What is up, YouTube? It's the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. We talk about fragrance and fashion on this channel, and today we are getting all into the fragrances. I have 15 fragrances here that I just want to talk about, and that's one of the things that I love about this hobby of collecting fragrances. You know, when you have a passion for it and you find fragrances that really just speak to you, that really just appeal to everything that you personally look for and enjoy about a scent, and you just kind of find that perfect fragrance is just like the perfect match made in heaven. And so today, with this being the basis of what this hobby is all about, I just want to talk about 15 fragrances in my collection that I love, that really speak to me and who I am. I would say 15 fragrances that are kind of like my signature scents and what I am known for. Now, anybody that's been following me for quite a while, you could probably list half of this list because some things just never change. They stay the same. But there have been some fragrances here over the past, I would say the past year, that has come into the collection and moved into one of these top spots for me. So I just want to kind of talk about these fragrances, 15 of what I would consider my signature scents. I love these fragrances and I just want to talk about them. So if you want to see what's on this list, you know the routine. Keep it locked right here.
Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump into the list. Before I go do that, just really quickly, guys, I talked about this new discovery sets from Novices Parfums. They have two new discovery sets. One comes in a red box. Hopefully the camera will pick that up. And this is my favorite just because of the color. And then this one comes in a black box. All right. And in each of these boxes, there are 15, they have 5 or 6 ml in each fragrance. And between the two boxes, you'll be able to experience every single fragrances that Novices has released from the inception. So there's 15 in the black box, 15 in the red box. Now I talked about this when I initially talked about this, but there is, these actually have pressurized atomizers. So just like the actual fragrances, and that's something you just don't see in these travel size atomizers. Usually, you know, they kind of leak in. In most cases, in my experience, kind of hard to spray, but these actually have the same pressurized atomizers that we have on the actual fragrances. So that's something that's very, very unique and different. So when you get the fragrance, the bottle's not going to be filled to the top, but we had to do that so that the atomizers, we can use the pressurized atomizer. But there is 5 to 6 ml in each fragrance. So with that being said, guys, right now these things are on sale. The regular price is $145 for each box, but right now you can get them for $55 each if you buy both boxes. So you'll be able to have every single fragrance that Novices has ever come out with and experience those for $110 for both of the sets combined. So make sure you check these out, guys. Again, I'll make sure I link it down below where you can go and check out these new discovery sets. So the first fragrance up on the list today that I want to talk about, these are, again, 15 of what I'll consider to be like my signature scents. This is one of the ones that I talked about that has come in over the last year or so and kind of moved into one of my top spots. This is Blessed BARAKA from the house of Initio Parfums. And I know I've talked about it a lot, but well deserved. Oh my gosh, man, that's what I call the oh my gosh factor. The oh my gosh factor. You guys have seen me do that a lot, and it's genuine. When I smell something that just takes me there, it's oh my gosh. This has the oh my gosh factor. Amber, musk, vanilla, and cinnamon is what's in here. And sandalwood, that creaminess. This stuff is absolutely phenomenal. There's no way for me to really explain it other than that. The cinnamon is so prominent in this, give it that spiciness. And I would say the sandalwood. So it's like a creamy, spicy, cinnamon-based fragrance. It kind of teeters along the lines of being a gourmand, but it doesn't go full gourmand. This stuff is absolutely fantastic, man. Alberto, created by the one and only Alberto Marias. What a gem this is. One of my favorites, man. If you guys have never put your nose on it, I would say if you love cinnamon, creamy, imagine a creamy cinnamon fragrance. That's what this is, a creamy cinnamon fragrance. Check out Blessed Baraka from Initio Parfum. Guys, the next fragrance that I would consider to be one of my signature scents comes from the house of MFK, and this is Baccarat Rouge 540, and this is the Extrait de Parfum. I love the addition of almond in this. This really kind of changes, you know, the way this fragrance opens up. Of course, it gives that almost nuttiness, if you will, that comes from the almond. A little bit bitter, but it really works. It really works in the composition. And this fragrance has become so popular that sometimes folks start to shy away from scents like this, scents like AVENTUS, DIOR, SAUVAGE, I can go on, when they become so popular. But they become so popular for a reason. But that's never gonna stop me from wearing what I love. And with that being said, this is still one of my absolute favorites. I would definitely have to put this on my list of signature scents, one that's near and dear to my heart. Again, this is Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait de Parfum. All right, the next fragrance, and this is one that's hard to find, so and I understand that, but if you can find a sample of something of this, pick it up, man. You guys that have watched my channel often have seen my wife's reaction to this one. This is Straight to Heaven Extreme. And this is just plain and simply one of the sexiest fragrances on the market. I can guarantee you that. You know, the cedar wood and the, of course, the booziness in here, the rum, the cedar wood and the rum is really what this fragrance is all about. And it was really amped up. Some people complained about the original Straight to Heaven and the performance, but they fixed it with this. And again, simply put, this is one of the sexiest fragrances on the planet, if not the sexiest fragrance. So definitely one that's in my top 15. When I want to do a date night, I wore this on, well, the Saturday that a lot of folks celebrated Valentine's Day. I wore this fragrance out. My wife and I went out to dinner and stuff like that. This is just, this is it right here. Check out this one if you can, from By Killing. This is Straight to Heaven Extreme. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this is one that has stood the test of time. Ever since it entered in the collection, it's gonna be in this type of conversation from Tom Ford. This is Oud Wood. Oud Wood, and this is my second bottle of Oud Wood. I had a 50 ml, and then I had to make sure I got the, of course, 3.4 ounce this time. I probably will go ahead and get a flacon, although I just don't really like the way the flacons, of course, the tops on the flacons, I kind of feel like, and it may be just something in my head that is giving the fragrance an opportunity to kind of escape, evaporate, because it can't conceal it as good as a regular, of course, itomizer and bottle cap. So I don't know, but I like it enough to get a flacon is what I'm saying. So you guys know what this fragrance is and what it's about. It's been around for a long time, but it's definitely one of my signature scents. One I always have around. So this is Oud Wood from Tom Ford. This next fragrance, I'm just going to show you the bottle and keep it moving, but this is always going to be in my collection. Always, it is always going to be one of my signature scents. The most popular fragrance of all time is one of my signature scents. And I always have to say this when I talk about this, I am trying to hold on to what I have left, because I refuse to pay over $600 for a 4 ounce bottle of AVENTUS, but it's definitely going to always be in my collection. One of my signature scents. And this next fragrance is also from the same house of Creed. You guys know this is my baby right here, Original Santal. I don't want to hear anything about Individual. Of course I know that they smell similar. Of course I know that Individual was made first, but my nose picks up a difference, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I love this stuff. One of my first niche purchases of all time. There's some sentimental value there. Outside of that, I just love the way this stuff smells, man. It's such a versatile fragrance because it's so fresh in the opening, and then you have some of my favorite notes in here when it dries down to cinnamon, sandalwood primarily. Absolutely love this fragrance from Creed. Again, this is Original Santal. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, and this one is one as well that has been sticking around for quite some time as one of my signature scents, one of my top 15. This is Roja Dove's Elysium. Elysium. I love this fragrance for what it is not as it relates to Creed AVENTUS. Because again, a lot of people compare it to Creed AVENTUS, but there's a slight similarity there. But this is, to me, there's a big difference between the two fragrances. And Again, when I'm in the mood for something that I know is just going to get the job done. I mean, this thing is such a great office fragrance, honestly. It's such a great office fragrance, but again, it offers so much versatility for what it is. And that's what I sincerely love about this fragrance. It's going to give you some AVENTUS vibes, but it's going to take you down a completely different path. And I like the path that this takes me down. So one of my signature scents, this one stood the test of time from the house of ROUGE Parfums. This is ELYSIUM. All right, guys, the next fragrance up on the list, this one comes from the house of Bond number 9. This is Lafayette Street. This is Lafayette Street. Now, I really feel like, not many people talked about this fragrance before, I really started talking about it often. It's really, this is a fruity, spicy fragrance. It's very fruity, very spicy. And it's just a scent that really just works for any type of occasion. I really like to wear this fragrance. This is like the scent that I wear when we are going out somewhere. We're going shopping. I can go date night with this. Again, shopping, date night, hanging out with friends. This is my go-to fragrance because it's just one of those fragrances that people respond to. They compliment it. It's a really highly complimented fragrance, and it's so easy to wear and so easy for others to enjoy. So in my niche collection of fragrances, this is one that is an easy grab, easy reach for me. Love the way this stuff smells from the house of Bond number 9. Again, guys, check out Lafayette Street. The next fragrance on the list, again, one that I don't have to say anything about, but I'm always having in my collection. DIOR SAUVAGE Eau de Parfum. And I made this clear distinction on my live stream the other night. This is my favorite of all the iterations of DIOR SAUVAGE. I'm still rocking with the EDP. Again, this one always get compliments. I know every other guy in America that has been exposed to fragrances wears this, but not gonna change my opinion on it. I'm gonna be one of them that's gonna be rocking it, but nobody else gonna rock it like me. So that's why it's always gonna be probably one of my go-tos. Of course, this is DIOR SAUVAGE. Next fragrance on the list is my most expensive fragrance, but man, I gotta have this one now. This is a signature scent for me, becoming one. This is DIAGHILEV. This is DIAGHILEV, and simply put, this is the best fougere I've ever smelled. Again, because of that peach in the opening of this fragrance. ROUGE fragrances, again, I won't try to go through notes. I never try to go through notes with ROUGE fragrances because usually there's at least 20 listed notes. So again, it will take us a long time to kind of go through those, but man, this stuff is just good, guys. It's very expensive, so I'm not advocating anybody to go get this. I'm just saying that it's one of my signature scents. I love it. Dressed up with a suit and a tie. This is that takes your whole experience, your whole vibe to the next level when you're dressed that way. So definitely one of my signature scents. Now I love this stuff. This is called DIAGHILEV. This next scent has been one of my favorites for a long time as well. This one is another one that stood the test of time. Even with all the newer fragrances that have come in over the years, this has remained one of my favorites from Tom Ford. NOIR Extreme. NOIR Extreme. Amazing date night fragrance. Amazing close encounter fragrance. The coffee in this is really what really makes this fragrance stand out to me, because it gives it that creaminess, that pistachio kind of nuttiness in this fragrance. And it's just, again, something that is one of the most pleasant smelling fragrances I have in my collection. Oh man, this stuff is just darn good. This is my backup bottle. Again, I've showed you guys this a few videos back, but I have another bottle that's it has about a fourth maybe left in there. So I went on ahead and got a backup bottle because I love it that much. So obviously, it's one of my signature scents from the house of Tom Ford, NOIR Extreme. All right, guys, this next fragrance, we're going back to the house of ROUGE Parfums, and this is Burlington 1819. Burlington 1819, this thing just smells divine. It smells heavenly. Oh, man. There's this very, very bright citrus opening. I know there has to be lemon, there has to be some bergamot in the opening of this fragrance, but then it's all about the spices. The spices, my God, this stuff is good. This stuff is good, man. Again, another one that just pairs well with a suit. You gotta experience this one, guys. If you like spicy fragrances, if you like fragrances that have a very crisp, clean, citric opening, This is just something you gotta put your nose on, man. I absolutely love this fragrance. This again from the House of Rose Dove is Burlington 1819. All right, guys, this next fragrance was my dream come true as a gourmand fragrance lover from the House of Kilian. This is Angel Share. Angel Share, and this one kind of took the spot that Black Phantom held for so long on my list as like one of my top gourmands, probably the top gourmand fragrance. I told you guys before, this is probably the best thing I've ever smelled as it relates to fragrances. Cinnamon, praline, vanilla. There's a boozy accord to this. There's, I think, rum in this as well, or cognac. Rum or I think it's cognac. Stuff is good. Stuff is good. If you like gourmands, just put your nose on it. Again, from Kilian, this is Angel Share. The next fragrance of me is another one that needs no introduction. This is from the House of Chanel. This is Bleu de Chanel. This is the Parfum. This is the Parfum. You always have to have fragrances that you don't have to think at all about. You have to have at least one or two fragrances that, because you guys know to have a lot of fragrances. A lot of times you go in there and you're trying to figure, it can take a while to figure out just what you want to wear for the day. You gotta have several fragrances in your collection that you can just know for a fact, I'm gonna just grab this by default because I know I'm gonna be pleased with my decision at the end of the day that I chose to pick this fragrance, and it's one that most people that come into contact with me are gonna feel like, hey, this guy smells amazing. And this is one of those scents. This, as well as Dior Sauvage, two designer fragrances that are very popular but are very necessary for me. And again, this is the Parfum concentration, my favorite of the three, from the House of Chanel, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. All right, guys, and the last fragrance that I just want to mention on this list from the House of Frederic Malle, Portrait of a Man. Portrait of a Man by Dominique Ropion. All right, so if you guys have never visited my channel before, don't correct me. I know that the official name is Portrait of a Lady, but people that rock with my channel know that I refer to this as Portrait of a Man, and I'm talking about this man. Because this is, in my opinion, the best rose fragrance on the planet. Enough said. I won't talk about it much more because I talk about it all the time. But this will conclude my list of my 15 personal favorite signature scents. All right, guys, that is it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed the list today. As always, I sincerely appreciate you tuning in and watching these videos. You don't have to watch them, but you do. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that. And don't forget to make sure you take a few moments to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you share these videos out to some folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darren, the Bow Tie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.